Welcome to the Orange Gymnasium. Aaron West along with Derek O'Neill and Melanie West. Derek, are you ready for some volleyball?
I am ready. How about you?
I'm fired up and ready for some volleyball.
Melanie looks super fired up for some volleyball.
Melanie's
This
running,
is exciting.
doing our tech stuff over there.
That's awesome.
So, the Red Oak Tigers and the Harlan Cyclones here in Red Oak tonight. You're going to have the whole breakdown, Derek, of what's upcoming. Let me tell you what I know has happened so far. In tonight, so far, freshman play was Red Oak over Harlan 25-8, 25-14. That was in freshman play. In junior varsity play in 3, it was Red Oak 25-14, 25-20, 15-13. Harlan wins 2-1 in junior varsity play. We're probably 25 minutes or so from the opening serve here or more in Red Oak. So music playing, players walking on the court. So you have plenty of time if you're anywhere in the Red Oak area to come on down and watch some good volleyball here this evening.
Definitely.
So the Red Oak Tigers, Derek, were in a tournament this weekend with Harlan. These teams know each other. They obviously very familiar, just played this weekend. So were you at that tournament?
So Harlan was not at the tournament this weekend.
Yeah,
the Tigers hosted a tournament this weekend here.
Thanks for correcting me.
Yeah,
there.
that's okay. I'm trying to keep it,
keep it
accurate. We don't want somebody saying we're reporting inaccurate information on the news, right?
Just add it to the list.
I know your list is long, so I'm just trying to keep it short, buddy.
Add it to the list.
Anyways, yes, the Tigers have faced the Cyclones previously here in a tournament over in Glenwood several weeks ago.
That's what I meant to say.
Yes, and that was a win for the Tigers at that Glenwood tournament. We did have a tournament here in Red Oak this weekend. Our annual Red Oak tournament saw a lot of great teams come into that. They ran 2 different pools in the morning. The Tigers ended up tying for first in the pool that we had there. That's kind of weird. That doesn't happen very often, but right off in the morning, St. Albert beat Red Oak. Then Sioux Center beat St. Albert, and then Red Oak beat Sioux Center. So 3-way tie. In that instance, head-to-head play was all equal there based on the record, and so they go to points. And unfortunately, we just didn't have quite the point differential that the other two did, so we did not get to go to bracket play. So that the Tigers lost the first match of the morning 2-1 to St. Albert. We won 2-0 against Fremont Mills, another 2-0 win against Underwood, and then a 2-1 win against Sioux Center there in pool play. So overall 3-1 on the day. I mean, it helps the record, and Sioux Center was a great team to play there, and Fremont Mills and St. Albert came back and took a W from us after we just beat them over there at the Triangular at Carroll Kemper. So you never know what's going to happen.
You got to show up and play the game, and I think when these two teams get together, and at Hawkeye 10 through the years, there have been a lot of good volleyball between these two teams through the years.
Absolutely. Harlan has, they've got a great, strong volleyball history and pedigree over there. And, I'd like to say that they kind of created that based off of Red Oak's pedigree originally there. So, but, great competition and super games every time these teams get together.
Talking about tradition, Derek, tonight is a night of recognition of youth volleyball here in Red Oak, and it's just one of those programs in Red Oak that there are a lot of girls that have an interest, and they have for a long, long time. There will be an introduction tonight. They're kind of filing in. If you're watching on our stream, by the way, over on our YouTube channel, you can go over and watch, and they're kind of filing in now, and they will be recognized a little later. But the Red Oak Tigers, just year after year, volleyball is kind of one of those sustaining programs for Red Oak.
Yeah, the terminology I've heard a number of times is they don't rebuild, they reload.
Yep.
So that's kind of fun to have that here in Red Oak with the volleyball tradition that we have.
Derek, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back after these messages. Again, we're watching, you're listening to KCSI on our FM dial. You can listen on our app if you have the app. You can go to our website, kcsifm.com, listen there, or go to YouTube go to YouTube and in the search bar search for KCSI Radio. You can watch it there. Any one of those methods will work just fine. We thank you in advance for doing that. We'll be back after these messages.
One play can change the momentum in a game, and one deductible is a game changer when it comes to your insurance. That's why you should see me, Richard Fisher, your Farm Bureau agent in Red Oak. I can help bring your car and home together in a single policy. So if life sends you a blitz in the form of a storm or fire, you'll pay just one deductible for everything that's covered. Come see how we can help protect what matters most. That's Richard Fisher down at Farm Bureau Financial Services across from the post office here in Red Oak.
Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
There's that.
I do not.
Typically that happens like
of our sponsors and say thank you when you have the chance for making it possible for us to be here. Derek, last week you and I went to Carroll Kemper. At that time we did not have the most recent state rankings. Where are we at state-wise, some of our local and area teams and state rankings currently?
You bet. From Thursday, September 14th, state rankings that came out then. Class 1A, top 3, Ankeny Christian, North Tama, and Holy Trinity Catholic. In 1A, number 7 is Stanton, number 12 is St. Albert, and number 14 is Griswold. Dropped out is Riverside. In Class 2A, the top 3 we have Dyke New Hartford, Hinton, and Grundy Center. At number 6, UC Trainer, and number 8 is Kemper Catholic. In 3A, top 3, we've got Western Christian, Mount Vernon, who is here at the tournament this weekend for Red Oak, and number 3 is Des Moines Christian. In Class 4A, top 3, we've got Clear Creek Amana. Number 2 is Indianola, and then ADM. At number 7, you have Lewis Central. In Class 5A, Dowling Catholic has the top spot. Ankeny Centennial comes in at 2, and Ankeny at number 3. Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln sits at number 14. We also have some updated Hawkeye 10 rankings here from September 16th. Sitting on top of the conference is Lewis Central at 5-0, followed by Kemper Catholic at 5-0. Glenwood at 4-1 sits at number 3. Clarinda at 3-3 sits at number 4. Then Shenandoah and Red Oak both at a 2-2 record. Then St. Albert, Harlan, Denison, Atlantic, all with 1 win, and Creston comes in the last spot with an 0-5 record there in the Hawkeye 10 as of September 16th. Obviously, tonight's another conference game here, so those will be updated again here after tonight.
So, Derek, you expect a good ball game here tonight?
I always expect a great ball game, particularly volleyball, Red Oak and Harlan. As we talked a little bit earlier, Harlan has a great volleyball pedigree that, I think Red Oak can take a little bit of claim of helping them get there just with the coaching connections that we've had there. But, Hawkeye 10 school, you never know what's going to happen. Just like our St. Albert game this weekend, they beat us. We beat them at the Triangular. Anything can happen when you put two great Hawkeye 10 schools on the court on a volleyball night.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the preview and the matchup here, Derek. When you're comparing these two teams, what do you see when you're looking at that?
So from a preview in a team stat scenario from Varsity Bound there, assists, Macy Mueller versus Merced Ramirez. Macy has a 5.4 assist per set. Merced is at 4.6. For kills, we have Erica Rust for the Cyclones with 1.7 kills per set, and Marley Gray for the Tigers at 2.4 kills per set. On blocks, again, we have Erica Rust at total of 28 blocks. Carly Jenkins for the Tigers, a sophomore, in the middle there with 15 total blocks. Digs, you have 2.8 digs per set from Samantha
Einesen.
Samantha Einesen, thank you. And then Nicole Bond with 3.4 digs per set for the Tigers. Again, serving Samantha Einesen with 0.5 ace to Olivia Boswell on the Tigers at 0.4 aces there per set. Very close on the serving side. When we look at the overall team stats, assists per set, the Tigers take that at 23.1 to the Cyclones 17.6. Kills per set, the Tigers again take that at 24.9 to the Cyclones 18.2 kills per set. Kill attempts, the Tigers are at kill attempts per set 70.2 to the 64.3 of the Cyclones. Kill efficiency 0.199 for the Tigers, 0.088 for the Cyclones. Neither one of those are great numbers. Total blocks 83 for the Cyclones, far exceeding the Tigers' 41 total blocks. They have 5.2 blocks per set to the Tigers' 2.0. Digs per set 30.9 for the Cyclones. The Tigers lead that at 35 digs per set. Serve successes 39.4 for the Cyclones. Tigers edge that at 43.5. And serve attempts per set, the Tigers are getting 47.1 serve attempts per set to the 43.4 for the Cyclones. So overall, I look at the stats and I say that the Tigers should edge every one of these categories. Blocking is always one of those ones that, we never really compare very well with, but it should be a good matchup. Hopefully the Tigers can come out on top. Last 5 opponents for the Cyclones, they have a loss to Clarinda, a loss to Lewis Central, a loss to Shenandoah, a win against Council Bluffs Thomas Jefferson, and a win against Underwood. For the Tigers, we have a win against Sioux Center, a win against Underwood, also an opponent there that the Cyclones have faced recently, a win against Fremont Mills, a loss against St. Albert, and a win against St. Albert. Matchups all time. The stats showed the Cyclones edge us 16-12, but you really have to go back to 2015 to find that dominant kind of Harlan run from around 2012 to 2015. It's all Harlan. Then from there, it's almost all Tigers with one Harlan win there in 2017. So, it's been back and forth, but it's kind of a dominant back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah, that run that you're talking about, they had a state championship in that run as well, Derek. So we're going to take a break. We will be back with volleyball here in Red Oak. Hop in your car, come on down. You can join us and watch some good volleyball here.
Hawkeye Ford in Red Oak is all new and better than ever. I'm Mike Utz, the new General Sales Manager. We boosted our inventory and expanded our dedicated sales and service teams while retaining the familiar faces you trust. Buying, selling, or trading, we've got you covered. Experience the fresh selection of cars and top-notch service at Hawkeye Ford in Red Oak. Discover more at HawkeyeFord.com.
For For over 50 years, Heinlein Home Furnishings have served customers in Missouri and Iowa with our large in-stock selection or our custom order program. Our no-pressure sales and delivery team is always available to help you find items that'll make your home look beautiful. With over 80,000 feet of gorgeous furniture and flooring, check out one of our 3 locations today, Maryville, Missouri, or Harlan and Shenandoah, Iowa. Heinlein is here to help our neighbors have beautiful homes.
Different perspective, but I think this is better.
I agree.
Stadium 34 in Red Oak, proudly serving delicious food and drinks to all of Sunshine Country. From your favorite craft beer with a burger to a perfectly grilled ribeye steak and a glass of wine. They have a great selection on their menu. Stadium 34 also serves breakfast Saturday and Sunday mornings. And if you need a space for a wedding reception, anniversary party, family reunion, or birthday party, Stadium 34 has the perfect banquet space for a large or small event. Call today to book your party. That's Stadium 34 at the Red Coach Inn on Senate Avenue in Red Oak.
Hey Sunshine Country, it's Cheryl Porter. Do you like your job? How would you like to love your job? Fresco System USA is looking for several highly motivated workers to join our team. Come see me at 2026 Fernwood Avenue in Red Oak or call 712-623-8100 extension 6659 and we can talk about everything we offer, like benefits starting day one and so much more. So if you're ready to love your job, come see me today at Fresco System USA. Love is in the air.
To Red Oak, players on the court warming up. Volleyball, Red Oak and Harlan here in Red Oak this evening. Aaron West along with Derek O'Neill and Melanie West as well. Okay, Derek, if you just had to throw some thoughts out there on tonight's matchup, tell me what you're thinking about tonight's game.
The Tigers, obviously, we mentioned earlier, they faced Harlan there at the tournament at Glenwood and beat them 2-0 there in that match. We're going to have a little different look from what we faced, from what we looked like when we faced them there over at that tournament. We had some rotation changes that we saw predominantly there in the triangular with Olivia Boswell transitioning over to the right side. She's playing really well on that side. Having a left-hander on that right side is kind of like having a power hitter there on your outside. So I really like what we're seeing there. Keely Jones, freshman, transition from the right side pin there to the outside. She's been performing well since that lineup adjustment. We've seen a little bit more intention to set those middle hitters for the Tigers, and I think that's as long as they can keep that up, I think that's a positive overall. It just frees up the offense a little bit by confusing the defense, right? If the defense knows or doesn't know where it's going to go because you've got 3 strong hitters in the front, you're always going to be able to pull the block and have a little bit more chance for a success when you're hitting the ball there. So I think that's a positive. Kennedy DeVries, I think she is still injured and probably not going to play here tonight, so we'll miss her in the back row. But the Tigers just need to keep working on minimizing errors, getting good passes. Want to see some super scrappy play and some long volleys. We were at the Nebraska-Kentucky volleyball game there on Sunday, and they had a 72-second volley, and that is long and a lot of energy, and that's conditioning and mindset all in one. So it was exciting, and I know we've had a couple of those with the Tigers, and I want to see them win those volleys. So
yeah, a number of times this year, Derek, we've seen a lot of good volleys, just good hustle and good scrappy play.
Absolutely.
Both teams. So I think you'll see that tonight as well. All right, we're going to take a break. About 3 or 4 minutes away from the opening introduction.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. No one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. We offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, machinery, livestock, and so much more. You'll get customized coverage on one policy with one premium and one deductible when you need it the most. Contact Farm Bureau agents Bruce Bryant or Jamie Sifford in Red Oak and learn more about smarter insurance for agriculture.
Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
The Harlan.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah.
Try to bring everything and bring them some. You know what I mean? I want it all there.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This tonight.
I've started carrying an extra battery.
Across Nebraska and southwest Iowa, too many people are living with pain, but they avoid seeking orthopedic care. If only they'd ask themselves one question: what's the best that could happen? At Ortho Nebraska, we make care as easy and comfortable as possible. You can be seen today without a referral, and the majority of patients don't require surgery. Whatever your pain, we offer the most accessible and personalized care to get you back to living your best life. Ortho Nebraska. Click, call, text, or walk in.
Gotcha. Welcome back to Red Oak Orange Gymnasium. Red Oak and Harlan here this evening. Okay, Derek, looking at our lineups, who are we going to be talking about here tonight?
For the Tigers, you're going to see Olivia Boswell on the court at the right side. You're going to see Keely Jones on the outside. Alexis Joint will do some setting and back row duties. Merced Ramirez will be setter and right side. Emily Siebenecker will come in for some defensive specialists. Marley Gray, also a pin there on the outside. Jocelyn O'Neill and Carly Jenkins in the middle, and Nicole Bond as our libero. Some of the non-starters include Brinkley Salick, Haley Ryberg, Tori Wendt, Kennedy DeVries, who is injured, Ellison Johnson, and then Marielle Ramirez. Tigers are coached by Angie Montgomery, Sharon Allison, and Dana Ramirez. For the Cyclones, we are going to see Cami Stork, libero, Aubrey Schwiezo, Samantha Eineson, Hope Preston, Erica Rust, Ava Monson, and Macy Mueller. Non-starters for the Cyclones include Carly Tornaton, thank you. Kate Kesters, Emerson Reichel, Ellery Nelson, and Catherine Faw. Cyclones are coached by Elle Kreese, Josie Jacobson, and J.C. Stuerman. Getting some introductions here with some young Tigers, some of the YMCA volleyball teams that we've got out here that are part of the great future of the Red Oak Tiger volleyball program.
These will be the young folks that we'll see coming through in the years ahead, Derek. And we mentioned that this would be the recognition of those players here tonight from the YMCA, and a great tradition that has been built here in Red Oak. And should be a good night of volleyball. Good crowd on hand for the Red Oak Tigers.
Yeah, really good crowd for the Tigers here tonight, and
nice to see that.
Yep. And these little future volleyball players, when they get out here, they get to stand on the court while they introduce the varsity players and high five them and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun for these kids.
That's how you build the foundation, that is for sure. Your girls played volleyball, still play volleyball.
Yeah, absolutely. They were part of these introductions and getting excited and everything. So
not too long ago, Derek.
Really,
it goes quickly.
It seems like just yesterday, quite honestly. So, but it's fun to see. They've got a good number of girls out here for these different ages, and y'all, it's important to note that, all of these coaches at these age levels are volunteers. They're volunteering their time to the Y and to these kids, and it's a commitment, and but still they're a worthwhile commitment.
We're going to take a break for our introductions, and if you want to watch, you can go to our YouTube channel and continue to watch that if you wish this evening. And we will be back. We're going to step away from our radio just for a moment, and we'll be back after this. Thank you to everyone watching online. As Derek alluded to earlier, this is the YMCA Youth Program that's being recognized here tonight in Red Oak, and a great youth program that is established here. Coach Montgomery does a lot of work with that program, and it's nice to see.
All of those coaches are involved at some point with a coaching clinic in the summer, and setting up some expectations as they coach these little kids from the minute about third grade when they start this all the way through their middle school time, just kind of setting some expectations on how they're going to serve and what type of rotations they want to see them do, and the skills that they need to have when they get to that
building those
level.
Foundational and the fundamental play.
Absolutely,
it all starts from there. So, and a good crowd standing right out there by the varsity players. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, it is a great way to watch these games, and Melanie's added some camera work, so you got some great views. I mean, it's top notch production over there. So,
oh gosh, well, it is fun, that's for sure. So you can continue to watch that. Our radio audience is away at break at the moment. And now they're going to start to. How many are there, Derek?
Probably four or five grades out there at least. I hadn't counted how many kids, but they've got a good amount of young girls out there playing.
We're having our player introductions while the young girls are on court, and I think they'll probably run through the lineup here, Derek, which is kind of cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. I can remember, Ellie, my youngest, being out there and high-fiving Lennon, when Lennon was a senior or on varsity there. And it's, that's kind of a fun generational experience, too, between the sisters there. So I'm sure, I see a couple of little ones out there that have sisters that are on varsity, and that's kind of fun to see them do that.
They're going to have the tunnel. Kind of cool. I want to bring our radio audience back here with us, and you can go to our YouTube channel and watch that. Player introductions being made here in Red Oak this evening. Aaron West along with Derek O'Neill and Melanie West, and player introductions being made while the youth are on the court. Kind of cool. Some reserves for the Red Oak Tigers here this evening. Brinkley Salick, a junior, 5'2 junior. You have Haley Rydberg as a senior, 5'9. Keely Jones, a freshman, but Keely has been seeing significant playing time. Really impressive freshman.
Yeah, she's
5'6".
doing a great job.
Tori Wynn, a junior for the Red Oak Tigers, 5'6". Carly Jenkins is a sophomore. Carly's seeing a lot of court time as well, 5'8", and a sophomore. Kennedy DeVries did suffer an ankle injury a couple weeks ago, so during a volleyball game. She's a junior, 5'7", and Ellison Johnson, sophomore, at 5'6". Those are your reserves for the Red Oak Tigers. And again, a good crowd of folks here on hand. And we're going to have our national anthem. We're going to step away for our national anthem, and we will be back after this.
Whose broad stripes and bright
There's only one Vern Olson.
There is.
There's only one Vern Olson.
Apple pie, fried chicken, and Vern Olson is about as much as you can count on here. And
that is exactly right. For volleyball and Vern Olson, I'm telling you, and the national anthem. So it's not a volleyball game till Vern sings the national anthem. Okay. It's just about time for volleyball here, Derek.
I'm excited. I'm getting my headset adjusted and
getting adjusted.
Want to stand up for a little bit here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get my chair out of the way. And we are just about ready for volleyball here in Red Oak this evening. We'd encourage people that if you can, if you're in the Red Oak area, come down and watch some volleyball with us.
Yeah, definitely. Come check out a great matchup here. We got the Harlan Cyclones and the Red Oak Tigers, a Hawkeye 10 matchup. And grab yourself some food at the concession stand and come watch a great volleyball game here.
There's something about a high school sporting event and a hot dog or a nacho or some popcorn from the concession stand.
Or, if Eli were here, it'd be a Frito pie. So.
Or Frito pie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It just adds to the whole experience.
It does, definitely.
Here we go. About time for volleyball. Back to serve for the Red Oak Tigers will be Nicole Bond as we get set. And set number 1. Hawkeye 10 volleyball here in Red Oak. Serve. Ace serve by Bond.
Great start by the Tigers. Ace serve there. Just glanced off the back row player there for the Cyclones. And a quick point on the board.
Red Oak leads. Eli texts me and says he needs a Frito pie.
I bet he
There
does.
you go. Ace serve number 2.
Same spot. Wow, Nicole is off to a great start here for the Tigers. 2 aces in a row.
And just
crowd
on
is
fire.
into it, and this is exciting.
So Red Oak leads 2-0. Set number 1. Nicole Bond with 2 ace serves to get underway. Into the back row again. It's going to be chased down, kept alive, and the Cyclones fail to get it back across the net.
Yeah, the kind of that same spot. Nicole's found a spot she wants to keep serving to, and Cyclones are going to make an adjustment here and rotate slightly to see if they can counter that.
Yep. Red Oak leads 3-0. Yep, a little adjustment there by the Cyclones. Serve into the back row. Right in the middle, received by Reichel. Up front, hit hard by Einesen, but it sails long and goes out of play. Timeout on the court, Derek. Quick. Tigers start out rolling 4-0 here in set number 1.
That is quick. Quick jump to the lead, and, an early timeout. They want to calm the Cyclones down there.
Tigers started off on just a roll there with Nicole Bond with ace serve 1, ace serve 2, and they lead 4-0.
Yeah.
In games here earlier this evening, it was in freshman play, Red Oak over Harlan 25-8, 25-14. In junior varsity play, Harlan gets the victory 2-1. It was 25-14, 25-20, 15-13. And Harlan gets the victory. Here we go. Set number 1, varsity play. Nicole Bond back to serve again. Red Oak leads 4-0 in set 1. Serve from Bond into the back row. Receive passed up front. Set from Mueller, hit down hard by Monson, and the point goes to the Cyclones.
And that's exactly what I think their coach was trying to do, just kind of settle them down, get them into a groove. They know how to pass and they know how to set, and just get it out there and get a point. Harlan on the board here.
Samantha Einesen back to serve. Low across the net. Ramirez digs it. It goes across the net. A free ball across the net, and it goes off of the Cyclones and out of play.
Yeah, kind of, sometimes you get lucky on some of those to get those points, and the Tigers had some luck falling their way there. With a little overpass by Merced that just glances off the Cyclones and falls out of bounds.
Ramirez back to serve. Red Oak leads 5-1, set 1. Into the back row to Einesen up front. Set tapped across by Monson. Hit back across by
A little bit of jousting at the net there with the Tigers and the Cyclones, and I think Keeley kind of muscled that one over, and it fell to the court there.
The freshman, Keeley Jones. Red Oak leads 6-1. Serve from Ramirez. Low, bounces off the top ribbon. The libero does a great job getting under it, but can't do anything with it. The point goes to the Tigers. Nice effort there by Storick. She laid out for it, but
great effort. You know, when those serves tap the net, there's just not a lot you can do. It just kind of messes with your perception. And
7-1, received by Monson across, hit across the net, that time by Schwezo. And the point goes to the Cyclones.
Just a little bit of out of system there on the Tigers, and they couldn't quite get to that second ball.
7-2 is the score. Back to serve for the Cyclones is Monson. Ava Monson, a senior, 5'9" senior. Into the back row. Gray passes it up front. Ramirez with the set to Keely Jones. She hits it. It's out of play. Point goes to the Cyclones.
Keely on the right side there in that transition. Just hit it a little bit long for the Tigers. She'll come back. She'll get them so they're landing inside the lines.
Ava Monson back to serve again into the back row. Gray kind of shanks off into the bench, and the point goes to the Cyclones. And it's 7-4. Red Oak leads. Ava Monson back to serve.
Again, you know, any type of great point for the Tigers is going to start with a great pass.
Serve from Monson. Gray passes it up to the net. Set to O'Neill. She hits it hard. Nice job by Jocelyn O'Neill.
I like that, getting the middles involved early here. Tigers showing what they can do with their middle hitters.
8-4. Red Oak leads set 1. Back to serve is Siebenecker. Emily Siebenecker for Red Oak. Serve into the back row. A serve by Siebenecker. Little miscommunication between the Cyclones.
Yeah, that's
who it was.
A little surprising there. They got their libero in the back row, and normally you'd think the libero's kind of going to command the defensive receive on that.
Siebenecker into the back row again, received by Stork. Up front, the set comes from Mueller. Hit across. Tigers are there. Set to Gray. Hits it right to the back row. Stork passes it up front. This time set to the back row. Monson hits it across. Bond to Siebenecker. She hits it into the back row. Stork up front. This time the set goes to Preston. She hits it across. Ramirez to Gray. We're going to have, I think, 2 touch.
Probably a double hit on the Tigers there. I mean, that was a great volley back and forth. Both teams getting very aggressive, picking up the tempo. That's what it's going to take, picking up the tempo, increasing that just a little bit to establish who wants to take control of the game here.
9-5 is our score. Red Oak with the lead in set number 1. Back to serve is Tornaton. Dump set by Ramirez. Set from Mueller to Schwezo. She hits it across. Tigers handle it. Bond to Boswell. Hits it right to the back row. Too far. Goes out of play, and the point goes to the Cyclones.
Just a little long. Tigers had the rights. You know, they were a little out of system there, but they did a great job recovering and getting that to one of their pin hitters there.
Carly Tornaton back to serve, sophomore, 5'4" sophomore. Into the back row to Bond. She passes it to Ramirez. Set to O'Neill. Blocked at the net. And it falls to the floor, and the point goes to the Cyclones. It's a 2-point set here.
Well, I had to kind of look up at the scoreboard there when you said that. I hadn't really seen them coming back quite this much, but
they're right back in it.
They are.
9-7 is the score. Tornaton with the serve into the back row. Siebenecker up to the net. Set to O'Neill. Big kill by Jocelyn O'Neill. 10-7. Red Oak leads set 1. Back to serve is O'Neill for Red Oak. Jocelyn with a couple of big kills already here in set 1. And back to serve. Into the back row to Stork. She passes it up front. Set from Mueller and hit across by Einison, I believe. Or Rust, rather. Going to be hit off the hands of the Cyclones. Point goes to the Tigers.
Big swing by Marley Gray there. She had a great tournament this weekend. She was swinging as hard as I've seen her all year long, and hopefully that momentum's carrying her forward here into this game.
O'Neill back to serve. Stork set and hit across the net by Monson. There's Boswell. Nice effort there by the Cyclones to keep it alive, and then Mueller hits it across right to the open spot.
Yeah, just finding those open spots. I mean, sometimes those you get those by great court awareness, and I think that's what the Cyclones were looking for there, and found that open spot on the court there for the Tigers left.
Reichel Emerson Reisel back to serve. Bond passes it up to Ramirez. Set to Gray over on the left side. Blocked at the net. Ramirez dump set. Nice job by Merced.
Yeah, Merced, a senior setter on the team. She's fairly well perfected that dump set, and 50% of the time at least she's getting a point for the Tigers and changing that momentum.
Joint back to serve for Red Oak. 12-8 the score. Set 1. Into the back row. Stork passes it up front to Mueller. Hit across. Set to Ramirez. She pushes it to the back corner. Tornaton passes it up front. Set this time goes to Einesen, and she hits it across, and the point goes to the Cyclones.
Kind of that same hole there that they hit just the point before there. Tigers are going to have to adjust just a little bit. It's not a hard hit that Cyclones are putting in. It's just a quick little tap down onto the floor.
Stork hits it across to Siebenecker. Tap Gray. And that's scored awareness by Gray. She goes up and just taps it right to the open spot.
It's not always that hard hit swing. Sometimes it's just knowing where to push the ball to on the court. And Marley, a junior, did a great job. Second-year starter for the Tigers, and she knew where to put that one.
13-9 is the score. Set 1. Red Oak leads. Into the back row. Set from Mueller. Tapped across by Monson. Down ball by Ramirez. Set from Reichel and then tapped across one-handed by, I think, Monson. Or check that, Einesen. Set to Einesen. She hits it across into the back row to Bond. Joint with the set to Jenkins. It's handled well at the net by the Cyclones. Tapped across by Keely Jones. Cyclones keep it alive. There's Jones. Joint with the set to Ramirez. Blocked at the net, but we're going to have point
four
Cyclones.
Hits. Man. Great volley again, and we need to talk about Keely as a freshman. How in the world did she have the awareness to play that kind of defense, popping it up at the net there after the jousting and the block? Excellent job by the Tigers.
Back to serve is Macy Mueller. DeVries in the ball game. Set goes to Keely Jones. She hits it across, bounces off of a few Cyclones, and they fail to get it across this time. 14-10. Red Oak leads set 1. Back to serve is Bond. For Red Oak. This has been a pretty exciting set so far.
Very exciting, absolutely.
Bond into the back row. Stewart gets under it. We're going to have Reichel passing it up front. Mueller tries to get it across, but they fail to do so. Point goes to the Tigers.
Little miscommunication there on the Cyclones. Nicole pounded the serve to the back row, and it's, they're just not quite handling that on that first pass on the receive.
Bond back to serve, kind of the center portion of the service line, way into the back row, just catches the line. And the point goes to Red Oak.
That's, the line is in. Like I've said, I wouldn't want to be the line judge there. We've got a couple of great ones here for the Tigers tonight.
16-10 is our score in set number 1. Red Oak with the lead. Let's take a break, and we'll be back after this.
Subscribe to the KCSI Radio YouTube channel today. Interviews, parades, events, contests, and more. Subscribe to KCSI Radio on YouTube and get notified every time something fun happens.
Set number 1 has been a fun one. Red Oak leads 16-10, but it's been pretty wild, Derek.
Yeah, the score probably should be a little closer than what it shows right there. Red Oak jumped out to that early lead, but Harlan has been scrappy and slowly just kind of
chipping away,
pushing their way back into the game here.
Back to serve Bond. Into the back row, ace serve Nicole Bond. And that's how Nicole started this set.
Absolutely. I think that's at least 4 aces for her here in set number 1 against the Cyclones. She's definitely doing a good job of up in that stat category for her.
Bond back to serve again into the back row, passed up front. Mueller with the set hit hard by Preston. Tigers are there, set to Jones. Blocked partially at the net. Falls to the floor, and the point goes to Red Oak.
Yeah, Tigers did a great job with the transition. Alexis is doing the setting at the moment as a part of the rotation. Merced is the right side hitter. Keeley got all of that, and they just couldn't handle it.
18-10 is the score. Red Oak leads. Into the back row, received by Preston. Mueller. Einison just hits it across. DeVries passes it up the net. Set to O'Neal. She hits it hard. Stork gets under it, up to the net, but a little out of position. And it falls to the floor. Point goes to the Tigers. And it's 19-10. Red Oak leads set 1. Nicole Bond back to serve.
Still serving.
She's been phenomenal from behind the service line here in set number 1.
Great job, yeah.
Up front, Mueller tapped across by Monson. Bond, Ramirez hits it, bounces off of the top ribbon. Mueller set to Monson, tapped across, back across by O'Neal. Monson hits it across and it falls to the floor. Nice job by Monson.
Yeah, it had 2 Tigers there. Just couldn't quite handle that right at the net, and the ball falls to the floor. Sometimes you get a little out of sync. You don't maybe jump just exactly the right way with your timing, but Cyclones are serving.
Einison serves. Into the back row, Bond set to Ramirez. She hits it straight down the line. It's out. Point goes to the Cyclones. It's 19-12. Red Oak leads set 1. Samantha Einison back to serve. She's a senior, 5'9" senior for the Cyclones. Middle portion of the service line into the back row, off of the hands of the Tigers, and the point goes to the Cyclones. 19-13 is our score. Einison back to serve. Samantha Einison. Bond passes it right up the net. Joint net violation on the Tigers.
That was a really tight pass to the net. I've told Alexis there that she does a great job with those tight passes to the net, and you're going to get called in the net once in a while.
Einison into the back row to Bond. Joint with the set to O'Neal. She hits it hard. Chased down by Stork right at the net. Tapped down by O'Neal. This time the set goes to Schwezo. She hits it across, and the point goes to Red Oak. 20-14 is our score.
Olivia Boswell checks back into the game. She'll be on the right side pin for the Tigers.
Ramirez serves into the back row. Stork passes it back across the net on the dig. Set to Keeley Jones. She hits it hard. Mueller gets under it. Einison with the set and hit by Schwezo, but the point goes to the Tigers. 4 hits.
4 hits, yeah. The net helped us out on defense there for the Cyclones.
21-14 is the score. Red Oak leads set 1. Back to serve is Ramirez. Merced Ramirez. Low across the net. Stork gets under it. Keeley Jones to Ramirez. Set to Boswell over on the right side. Stork up front. It goes to Schwezo. Little push across the net that time by Monson. Boswell hits it hard, falls to the floor. Nice job by Olivia.
Great job by Olivia there, knowing where to hit the ball and getting the point for the Tigers.
22-14 is our score, set 1. Red Oak leads. And it's Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. From the right side, this one low and into the net.
Getting aggressive on the serve, that happens once in a while, but the Tigers on a good run there, and Merced doing a great job from the service line for the Tigers all season long.
Rust into the game. Stork takes the seat. Back to serve is Monson for the Cyclones. Low across the net. Boswell passes it up front. Set to O'Neal off of the hands of the Cyclones. Point goes to Red Oak.
Little slide play by the Tigers there, where the middle rotates around the setter to the right side and causes a little confusion for some defenses, and nice to see them running some plays like that.
I like to see those plays, that and the stack, and I really like those a lot. Serve from Siebenecker into the back row. Stork. Mueller with the set hit hard by Rust. Point Cyclones.
Tigers had some blockers there, Jocelyn and Olivia. They just need to maybe tool their block just a little bit, try and get that to bounce back on the side of the Cyclones.
Tornaton back to serve. Carly, she had a nice job from behind the service line earlier in this set. Up front, set to Boswell. Sails long, point Cyclones. 23-17 is the score. Set number 1. Back to serve again, Tornayton. Just across the net. O'Neal is there. Set to Gray. Hit, blocked. Bond gets it back across the net. Pushed all the way into the back corner, but Siebenecker is there. Set to Boswell. Hits the top ribbon, point Cyclones.
They're going to call four hits again. The net playing a little defense for the Cyclones there.
Tornayton back to serve again. This is the same point in that rotation where she had a nice run earlier in this set. Bond, Ramirez, set to Gray. Hit hard. Stork passes it out front. Set from Mueller, actually dump set. Tigers are there. Set to Gray. She hits it hard. From Bond to O'Neal. And the Cyclones get the point.
You know, I'm seeing those blocking stats, and Cyclones had probably twice as many. I can't remember the exact numbers as the Tigers, and they've got a good blocking scheme going on in the middle there.
Tornayton back to serve. Into the back row. Siebenecker passes it up to Ramirez. Set to O'Neal. Bounces off of a couple of Cyclones and goes out of play. 24-19 set point. O'Neal back to serve. 24-19. Set one. Red Oak leads. Into the back row. Tornayton. Mueller is going to be pushed across that time by Einesen. Set to Gray. She hits it all the way across the court and goes out of play.
Yeah, just a little bit of timing issue there. She kind of had to punch it over with her left hand, and then instead of swinging at it hard with her right hand there. But you know, Harlan's clawing their way back here. They're not going to let the Tigers just take this one from them.
Emerson Reichel back to serve into the back row. Bond, Ramirez, Gray hit across, passed up right to the net, tight to the net. That's it. Red Oak wins 25-20 in set number one. Pretty exciting volleyball. We'll step away, be back after this.
One play can change the momentum in a game, and one deductible is a game changer when it comes to your insurance. That's why you should see me, Richard Fisher, your Farm Bureau agent in Red Oak. I can help bring your car and home together in a single policy. So if life sends you a blitz in the form of a storm or fire, you'll pay just one deductible for everything that's covered. Come see how we can help protect what matters most. That's Richard Fisher down at Farm Bureau Financial Services across from the post office here in Red Oak.
Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
That was fun.
Hawkeye Ford in Red Oak is all new and better than ever. I'm Mike Utz, the new General Sales Manager. We boosted our inventory and expanded our dedicated sales and service teams while retaining the familiar faces you trust. Buying, selling, or trading, we've got you covered. Experience the fresh selection of cars and top-notch service at Hawkeye Ford in Red Oak. Discover more at HawkeyeFord.com.
Pretty exciting. 25-20. The Red Oak Tigers led that whole set, starting off on the couple ace serves to get started by Nicole Bond, and then the Tigers just led the whole set. But the Cyclones, Derek, as you might expect, didn't just go quietly. They kept fighting and made a match of it, or set of it, but Tigers end up getting the victory.
Yes, Harlan was not going to just let Red Oak take that one so easily. They did keep clawing, and we saw a couple of great volleys there, and it kind of came down to mistakes on both teams that kind of added those last few points to get the Tigers ultimately to the win in that first set. So I look for Harlan to come back really strong. I saw some good blocking from them in that first set. So Tigers definitely going to have to make sure they're mixing the ball up. The middle hitters are going to have to pull the block when it's set to the pins, and then vice versa, so that those middle hitters can have a little better view of the lanes when they're set the ball. So hopefully, both teams are going to make some adjustments for sure and come out with another great set here.
Coach Montgomery taking all of the 3 minutes allotted here, Derek.
Yeah,
Cyclones are back on the court with about a minute and a half now. They're going to be out there, but Coach Montgomery's keeping it right to the very end here.
I think that's good.
Is she just talking to him or making changes, or what's she doing?
They're probably talking strategy. Maybe they're gonna maybe they are going to move rotate to a different spot. We're actually, it looks like we're going to see, a slightly different look in the rotation here. And we have Tori Went over on the, outside, and
Carly Jenkins is in.
Carly, yep. So Nicole came in for Jocelyn there. I think they're starting in a slightly different position.
Einesen back to serve for the Cyclones. Low across the net. Gray to joint, set to Ramirez, and point Cyclones. Cyclones lead set 1.
4 hits the call there
set
with
2.
With the net helping out the Cyclones on defense.
Einesen back to serve. Samantha Einesen into the back row. Gray. Joint. Free ball across the net by Went. This time the set is tapped across by Preston for the Cyclones. And it's in by Ramirez. She shot that all the way across the court to the other sideline. And just in. It's tied up at 1 apiece in set number 2. Back to serve Nicole Bond for Red Oak. Tied up at 1 apiece. Bond back to serve. Into the back row, Stork. It's going to be hit across by Schwezo. Point Cyclones. So it's 2-1, Cyclones lead. Into the game comes Rust, taking a seat, Stork. And back to serve Monson for Harlan. Middle portion of the service line, into the back row, Ramirez to joint. Down ball across by Went, and right at the net. Nice job by Hope Preston.
Yeah, you got to be intentional with those down balls. You know, particularly with a team that can block like the Cyclones, they're gonna be right there and stuff it, and that's what happened to the Tigers.
Ava Monson back to serve again. Middle portion of the service line. Into the back row. Bond digs it right to the net. Joint. Down ball across the net. Bond. There's Einesen. Mueller. Schwezo with the free ball across the net. Set to O'Neal. Nice hit by Jocelyn O'Neal.
Yeah, that was honestly, that started with a great pass from Marley, and then a great set from Alexis, and then Jocelyn was able to pound it down there from the middle position on the floor.
3-2. Harlan leads set 2. Merced back to serve. Little soft floater across the net. A serve. That's another thing that Merced does really nice.
Yeah, she's got that soft serve down for sure.
And she mixes it up really nice, because next time she'll come across with one just kind of smoking it right across the net too. Here we go. Into the back row. Einesen passes it up front. Muller hit by Schwezo. That was a nice hit by Schwezo.
Great job by Harlan there. Just great pass, perfect set, and then a excellent execution on the hit there for the kill.
4-3 is the score. Harlan leads set 2. Red Oak 1, set 1. Back to serve is Tornaton. Just a little floater across the net. Bond is there. Ramirez with the set to Boswell down the line. It's out.
Great attempt by Olivia to hit the line shot there from the outside position. Just a little bit wide though.
5-3 is the score. Harlan leads set 2. Tornaton into the back row to Boswell. She passes it to the net. Set to Went. Dug out by Tornaton. Bond. Ramirez to O'Neal. Tornaton back across the net. Bond. Ramirez. Went. Sails long. Point Cyclones.
Yeah, Harlan had both their blockers there, so the adjustment for the Tigers needs to be to maybe pick up the pace a little bit, so we're not hitting over those blockers.
6-3. Harlan leads set 2. Went is going to try to push it to the open spot, and it goes into the net. And it's 7-3. Harlan on a roll here.
So this is the spot in that rotation where they pick up a lot of their points with this particular serve rotation.
Into the back row, Gray. Set to O'Neal. Pushed across by Mueller. There's Bond with the set to Boswell. She hits it across Mueller to Einesen. Schwezo into the net. Point Tigers. and it's 7-4. Carly Tornaton has been a challenge for the Tigers all night here.
Yeah, from the service line for sure.
She has just done a phenomenal job.
Controlled the points on the board when she's serving.
Siebenecker into the back row. Stork passes it right tight to the net. Derek, we talk about it every time, but those passes to the net like that are just very difficult to do anything with.
Just the slight overpass. If your setter's not in position to tip over or you're running the right rotation, just tough to deal with.
Siebenecker into the back row. Stork. Mueller set to Schwezo. Hit across. Tigers are there. Here's Stork to Schwezo. She hits it across and off of the Tigers. Harlan's point.
When you're running a 6-2 rotation and your setter is coming out of the back row, your setter cannot jump at the net and tip the ball over. That's a violation. That's a back row attack. So that's why you don't see that from the Tigers or most of these teams.
Reichel serves. Siebenecker, Bond hit across by Gray. It's out. Point Harlan. 9-5. Harlan leads set 2.
Yeah. If the Tigers want to affect this set here a little bit, they're going to have to change their tempo a little bit to hit around those blockers.
Serve from Reichel. There's Ramirez to O'Neill. She taps it across. Mueller pushes it into the back row. Siebenecker is there. Ramirez set to Boswell. Tornaton passes it up front. Mueller to Rust. She hits it across. Gray taps it right to the open spot on the court.
Yeah. Great job by Marley there just to find that open spot, not having to swing real hard and hammer the ball down, but getting it to the open spot for the point for the Tigers there.
I'm seeing some young players on this Harlan squad. Derek Tornaton is a sophomore. Reichel is a sophomore. Preston is a sophomore. They got some good young players coming. Free ball across the net. Einesen set to Gray. She taps it across. Mueller hits it hard across the net. Siebenecker passes it up front. Ramirez with the set to Boswell. Point Tigers.
That's exactly what we need to do there. Great job. Great set by Merced to the right side for Olivia. Again, as a left-hander, she's able to just power that down for the Tigers. Get the point and keep us going.
9-7 is the score. Harlan leads set 2. O'Neill into the back row. Stork passes it up front. Mueller with the set to Einesen. She hits it hard, but it sails long. Point Tigers. It's not sure that score is right on the clock.
No, I don't think they did.
They gave it actually to the
right there.
It should be 9-8, I think.
I believe it is.
O'Neill into the back row goes to Reichel. Pushed across by Mueller into the back row. O'Neill set to Gray. Hits it across. Getting under it is Einesen. Hit across by Rust. Ramirez with the set to Jenkins. She's looking right across the net at Rust, who's the tallest player on the court. Up front, Mueller set to Rust, and just a little out of sync on that set.
Timing just wasn't quite there, but Carly Jenkins did a good job when she was blocked at the net there, I'm going to call it, being able to turn around and pop that ball up and keep it going for the Tigers.
Tied up at 9 apiece now. O'Neill serves into the back row. Stork passes it up front. Mueller tapped across by Einesen. Ramirez gets under it, set to Gray, hit hard, but it falls to the floor. Point goes Red Oak, and Red Oak gains the lead.
Great job by Merced there with a little chicken wing, getting it out there and keeping it alive. And
a little chicken wing.
Man, you guys are looking at me like I'm weird.
I'm kind of hungry. I didn't. There's O'Neill up front. Mueller dump set. Jenkins is there, hit across by O'Neill. Mueller with the set to Rust. She hits it across. This time the set goes to Boswell. Bounces off a couple of Cyclones. Stork passes it back up to the net. Mueller pushes it across, but we're going to have 2 hits, I think. And that's what it is.
Yep.
Point Red Oak. That's your favorite call, Derek.
As my
I'm joking.
Favorite
I'm
call.
joking.
Yeah.
That's one you don't see how it impacts the game.
You're right. Exactly.
So Red Oak leads 11-9 in set number 2. We're going to take a break and be right back after this.
For over 50 years, Heinlein Home Furnishings have served customers in Missouri and Iowa with our large in-stock selection or our custom order program. Our no-pressure sales and delivery team is always available to help you find items that'll make your home look beautiful. With over 80,000 feet of gorgeous furniture and flooring, check out one of our 3 locations today: Maryville, Missouri, or Harlan and Shenandoah, Iowa. Heinlein is here to help our neighbors have beautiful homes.
Welcome back to Red Oak. Red Oak wins set number 1, 25-20. Red Oak gains the lead in set number 2 about midway through, 11-9. Not quite, but about. O'Neal back to serve for Red Oak. Into the back row, it's Reichel passing up front. Mueller. And Russ does a nice job to get that across. Hit back across by Boswell. Mueller with the set to Einesen, and she just unloads on it.
Yeah, she's a good little volleyball player there. Just hits it in the seam, and just like that, she takes away the momentum for the Tigers.
And it's 11-10. And back to serve is Cammie Stork, senior, the libero for the Cyclones. Into the back row, Bond. Ramirez with the set to Boswell. She just taps it across, getting under that Reichel. Hit by Jenkins. Einesen gets under it, but it sails out. She was kind of out of position and just gave it a shot anyway.
Yeah, good attempt by the Cyclones there. Just ball falls on the wrong side of the line on the other side of the net there. So
12-10 is our score. Red Oak leads set number 2. Joint with the serve. Einesen up front. Set just out of sync and falls to the floor.
Had me I was
blocking
for somebody else there on that one, so they faked themselves out a little bit.
I thought Monson was going to come across with a big hit there, and I was ready for it. Mueller with the set to Monson. She hits it this time. Siebenecker, and it goes into the scorer's table. Point Cyclones.
Yeah, I'm seeing Harlan run a couple of plays there for that for Einesen there on the outside, and they've got something figured out. I think that they want to keep attacking on the Tiger side of the floor.
Back to serve is Mueller, Macy Mueller. Gray pushes it too far. She was going for the back corner, but it goes out of play.
Heads up play by the Cyclones there to just let that ball go. They acted like they wanted it and very smartly let it fly out of bounds.
Macy Mueller serves into the back row. A serve by Mueller. She's a junior.
Saw the student section there grab that ball and put a little hex on it before she started serving. I don't know if that's actually a technique that works. It did that time. So
I guess so.
If the ball flies up here, I'm going to put a little hex on it before I send it back.
See what
down.
happens. Mueller's low and into the net. Hard serve. Just across the net, I should say. There's Hope. Tries to go down the line, but it's out. Point goes to the Tigers. Hope Preston, sophomore. 14-13, Red Oak leads set 2. Back to serve is Gray for Red Oak. Marley Gray, right side, into the back row. Stork passes it to Mueller. Set to Einesen, tap back down by Jenkins.
Yeah, good job by Carly to be there. She's doing a great job with blocking in the front row for the Tigers this year, and she was right there and just pushed it down.
Here we go. Gray back to serve. 15-13, Red Oak leads. Marley Gray, low across the net. A serve, Gray.
That was an aggressive serve from Marley, and it worked out well getting the ace serve. We haven't really had somebody serve quite that aggressive, so definitely caught the Cyclones off guard.
16-13, Red Oak leads set 2. Gray back to serve from the right side again. This into the back row to Stork. She passes it to Mueller. Set hit down by Monson, but we're going to have a net violation, I think, on the Cyclones. Point Tigers. 17-13 is the score. Again, Marley back to serve. Seems like there have been several runs from the service line tonight.
Yeah, both teams.
On both sides, yeah. Einesen, Mueller with the set. That's Preston. And off of the hands
on that, huh?
off of the hands of the Tigers. Another one Derek, I would say Hope Preston, a sophomore, when she gets set, she can hit the ball.
Yes, she can.
Hard as well. Back to serve is Einison. Samantha Einison, she's a senior. Bond gets under it, kind of shanks it out to court, but the Tigers get it back across the net. Einison to Mueller with the set to Schwezo. Sells long, point Tigers.
Good job by the Tigers on defense there to keep that ball alive on the serve receive and just let Harlan make a mistake there, get the point.
18-14 is the score. Red Oak leads. Bond low and into the net. Is that the second service error for the Tigers tonight? I think it might be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Merced had one earlier, and maybe that one from Nicole makes two.
Monson back to serve. Ava Monson, senior, for Harlan. Bond, Ramirez, free ball by DeVries out front. Mueller with the set to Rust, hit hard, and the ball falls to the floor on the Tiger side of the net, and the point goes to the Cyclones.
Yeah, Jocelyn was there in the middle to kind of stuff it, but wasn't ready for it to kind of fall on her side of the court and pop it back up.
Ava Monson serves into the back row. Bond, DeVries, free ball across the net. O'Neal, Monson gets under it. Mueller gets there and pushed across.
That's got to be a lift.
Too much contact on the Cyclones. It's 19-16, set 2. Red Oak leads.
Olivia checks back in the game for the Tigers on the right side.
Little floater across the net by Ramirez. Set, hit hard by Schwezo. There's Ramirez with the set to O'Neal. Mueller is there. Einison with the set to Preston. She hits it across. DeVries passes it to the net. There's Boswell. Mueller to Einison. Hit by Preston. Bond gets under it, and it's going to be tapped down by Rush. Point Cyclones.
Tigers were there on defense. They tap the ball as it's hit, and then the play, Nicole just can't quite get underneath it as it kind of messes with that tempo and timing there.
19-17 is the score. Red Oak leads set 2. Back to service. Tornaton. Bond passes it up front. Ramirez to O'Neal. She taps it across. Stork passes it right tight to the net. And Mueller does a nice job pushing it across.
Well,
point Cyclones.
Point Cyclones. Sometimes it doesn't take the hard hits. It's just kind of finding that open spot and getting some errors to happen.
You got to get it to where no one else is at, Derek. That's what you got to do. It's a point. Tornaton serves it. Hit across by Wynn. Nice job by Tori to stretch out and get that one. Hit by Schwezo. Sails long. Point Tigers. 20-18 is our score.
I feel like the Tigers are lucky there that Tornaton's not going to continue serving.
She's been a challenge for the Tigers here in this first 2 sets. Siebenecker serves. Back row Stork. Mueller with the set to Schwezo, and the Cyclones can't get it across. Point Red Oak. 21-18.
Pretty good student section here tonight. I didn't catch who called the timeout, but I'm guessing Harlan wants to talk about things here a little bit.
I think so. We're going to take that timeout with them and be back. Red Oak leads set 2, 21-18 over Harlan.
For over 50 years, Heinlein Home Furnishings have served customers in Missouri and Iowa with our large in-stock selection or our custom order program. Our no-pressure sales and delivery team is always available to help you find items that'll make your home look beautiful. With over 80,000 feet of gorgeous furniture and flooring, check out one of our 3 locations today, Maryville, Missouri, or Harlan and Shenandoah, Iowa. Heinlein is here to help our neighbors have beautiful homes.
Welcome back to Red Oak. Red Oak leads set number 2, 21-18. Red Oak won set number 1 and leads set number 2. Serve from Siebenecker into the back row to Tornaton. She passes it up to the net, and just effort gets it back across for the Cyclones. Hit across. Tornaton passes it right to the net. Schweso hits it across.
Yeah, that was a good job by Harlan on the overpass, and then also slamming the ball down. You don't see that very often from a reaction standpoint. Those are tough balls to jump up and hit, and Harlan did a good job with that.
Schwiezo is a junior. 21-19 is our score. Back to serve will be Reichel. Into the back row, Siebenecker to Ramirez. Set to O'Neill. She hits it across. Bounces off the rafters. Point Tigers. Not part of the playing surface, right, Derek?
Yeah, ceiling is not. You can play off of the ceiling. You can't play off of the wall.
The problem when it hits the rafter like that, it just shoots right back down to the floor. It's hard to do anything with. O'Neill into the back row. Reichel, Mueller, Einesen down ball across the court. There's O'Neill to Ramirez. Set to Gray. Big hit. Stork right to the net. Point Tigers.
That was a great hit by Marley. The Tigers set her up well, and she was able to just get the full windup on it.
And it's 23-19, set number 2. Red Oak leads. O'Neill back to serve for Red Oak. Into the back row. Stork to Mueller. Set to Rust. She hits it hard. Point Cyclones.
Tigers were there with the block, just not quite able to close it up and push the ball back over on the side of the Cyclones.
Back to serve is Stork. Siebenecker to Ramirez, set to Gray. Point Cyclones.
A little bit of miscommunication on the set there by the Tigers, and Marley had to really reach to try and get that ball to make the attempt to hit it over.
Served by Stork. There's Bond. Ramirez hit across by Boswell. And the point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, Olivia's doing a great job on the right side, just finds the open spot on the floor. Point to the Tigers.
And it's set point 24-21. Joint into the ball game to serve for Red Oak. Taking a seat is Boswell. Serve from Joint. Received by Reichel. Mueller tapped across by Einesen. Gray to Joint. Set to Ramirez. She taps it across. Reichel gets under it. Ramirez to Joint. Set to Jenkins. Off of the hands. Yeah. And the Tigers win set number 2, 25-21 off of the hit by Carly Jenkins.
Good job by the Tigers there to keep the volley alive and set up Carly for a nice set-ending kill there.
Red Oak leads 2-0 here in Red Oak this evening over Harlan, and we'll be back after this.
Stadium 34 in Red Oak, proudly serving delicious food and drinks to all of Sunshine Country. From your favorite craft beer with a burger to a perfectly grilled ribeye steak and a glass of wine. They have a great selection on their menu. Stadium 34 also serves breakfast Saturday and Sunday mornings. And if you need a space for a wedding reception, anniversary party, family reunion, or birthday party, Stadium 34 has the perfect banquet space for a large or small event. Call today to book your party. That's Stadium 34 at the Red Coach Inn on Senate Avenue in Red Oak.
Not a
Welcome back to Red Oak. Red Oak wins set 2. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening in varsity play, 25-20, 25-21. And the Cyclones led, approximately the first half of that second set, Derek.
Yeah, I'd say a good half of it for sure.
And then the Tigers come back and gain the lead and stretch the lead and win in the end, but much more competitive.
both of these teams are kind of, exposing some weaknesses that the other has in certain parts of the rotation. Depends on who's serving.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good volleyball match here tonight.
Here we go. Set number 3. Nicole Bond back to serve for Red Oak. Into the back row. Einesen up front, hit across by Preston. Jones with the down ball. Stork passes it up front. Mueller. Set hit hard by Einesen's out. Red Oak's ball. Red Oak's point. 1-0 Red Oak leads. Set 3.
Nicole will keep serving here for the Tigers, kind of adjusting her knee pads.
Serve. Hard serve into the back row. Einesen to Mueller. She passes it right up the net and hit down by Preston. There's Jones to Joint. Set to O'Neill. Jocelyn had to go way up to get that, didn't she?
She had to switch hands, too, to her left hand and
Wow.
just kind of tip it over. It caught everyone off guard, I think, including herself. So,
but it falls to the floor. Red Oak has the point. 2-1. Red Oak leads set 3. Bond serve again, hard, and it's called in.
Wow.
Point Red Oak.
That's and the up ref agreed with it. So
Yeah.
the up ref does have the ability to overturn what the line judge says. So
3-0 is the score. Bond serves right into the back corner again. Einesen is there. Mueller with the set. Monson taps it across. Joint set to Jones. Sells long. Point Harlan.
yeah, Keeley hit the ball there just a little long. She's having to hit over the blocker. If I were out there, I'd just tell her to just tap it off to the side. But I'm not the coach, and I'm not down there with her. So
We just talk about it, Derek. Einesen into the back row. Bond. Joint set to Ramirez. And the point is the Tigers. 4-1. Red Oak leads set 3. End of the game. Boswell taking seat. Joint back to serve Ramirez. Merced Ramirez back to serve for Red Oak. There's Einesen to Mueller with the set to Monson. She hits it hard. Tigers just can't do anything with it. Nice hit and kill there by the...
yeah, when our blockers get up there and get their fingers on the ball and it just floats to that middle part of the court, it's tough to defend that open area when your blockers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and sometimes that just happens.
Monson back to serve for Harlan. Middle portion of the service line into the back row. Gray to Ramirez up front. Boswell hits it across. It's in.
Great job by Olivia there out of transition and getting the ball to land in.
It just hit the line, Derek. Just hit the line.
The line is in, Aaron. Love it.
The line is in. Line judge expert. We need Derek O'Neill.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you do when in doubt?
Call it out.
That's what I've heard, Derek. Hit across by Rust. It's 6-2. Set number 3. Let's change that.
On a tip.
It's 5-3 now. Set number 3. It was tipped, I believe.
Not sure who they say touched that, but that's
again
not my call, right? I'm up here just calling it as I see it.
Tornaton with the serve. Siebenecker set to O'Neill. Tornaton gets under it. This time Rust gets set. She hits it across. Bond is there. Right at the net.
Tough when the ball, that one just literally landed right on top of the net there, and Merced hitting the brakes, trying not to fall under the net. So
that when it's like that, Derek, it's just so hard to react to it because there's just no time. Hit hard by Gray, bounces off of the Cyclones. Point Tigers.
It's like an outfielder trying to catch the ball at the warning track when it's going to hit the back wall.
It's just immediate.
Yeah, the perception and the speed all got to line up to make that happen.
O'Neill serves. There's Rust. Dump set by Mueller. Tigers pass it right to the net again, and it's just hard to deal with.
Yeah, I'm going to say we're going to have to work on our passing just a little bit. Those tight passes to the net, that just that makes it difficult to get any kind of an offense going.
6-5. Red Oak leads set 3. Back to serve is Emerson Reichel. Siebenecker to Boswell.
Yeah.
Nice hit, but Tornaton gets under it. Down ball across the net is Einesen. Hit by Jenkins. Stork to Mueller. Free ball across the net by Mueller. Set to Gray. Hit hard. Stork is there. Bounces off. I'm not sure that's part of the point goes to the Tigers. But it hit the divider, Derek. Now, what is that?
Well, I guess it's a good seventh player on the court there for Harlan because, technically the hoops and the nets and all that stuff that hang from the ceiling are an extension of the ceiling. So,
serve to Stork. Bond. There's Joint with the set to Gray for Red Oak. She hits it hard. It's
just
out.
A little long.
It's out.
If that ball would have hit that gym divider and then landed on the Tigers' side, that can't happen. But because it was hit by the Cyclones, hit that, and then came back on their side, it's a legal ball to keep playing.
7-6 is our score. Hit by Jenkins.
Yeah, good job.
Nice job by Carly Jenkins. 8-6 in set number 3. Red Oak leads.
Keely Jones checking back into the game here for the Tigers on the outside.
Gray back to serve for Red Oak. Low across the net. Reichel's there. Mueller with the set to Monson. She hits it. It misses out down the sideline. Point Tigers.
Good aggressive serve by Marley on that too. She's definitely picked up her tempo just a little bit on her serves here in this game.
Serve by Gray. Einesen. Right at the net.
Yeah.
Just a lot of net play.
Carly Jenkins again with a block for the Tigers. She's done a good job of that all season long. And
timeout on the court.
Looks like Harlan wants to talk about it.
10-6. Red Oak leads set 3. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the.
Across Nebraska and southwest Iowa, too many people are living with pain, but they avoid seeking orthopedic care. If only they'd ask themselves one question: what's the best that could happen? At Ortho Nebraska, we make care as easy and comfortable as possible. You can be seen today without a referral, and the majority of patients don't require surgery. Whatever your pain, we offer the most accessible and personalized care to get you back to living your best life. Ortho Nebraska. Click, call, text, or walk in.
Some chants going
I
here.
love it.
A little between still
got a little bit of
student section banter.
Little bit of banter back and forth here on who's better at what sport. And
I really enjoy some good banter between the student sections, Derek. All in good fun. 10-6 is the score. Red Oak leads set 3. Gray to Stork. There's Monson with the ball, and then Einesen with the down ball across the court. Jenkins.
Yeah.
Carly Jenkins, I'm telling you.
Running a little bit of a slide move there, and Carly hits the open spot down the right line.
Point goes to the Tigers. It's 11-6. Red Oak with the lead. And why don't we comment on Marley Gray from behind the service line there?
Yeah, she's keeping the smoke going back there.
11-6. Stork passes it right to the net. Ramirez. Joint set to Jones. Big hit, Keely Jones.
Off of the defender there for the Cyclones, out of bounds. Keely with the hard hit and the point for the Tigers.
It's 12-6. Red Oak leads set 3. Red Oak leads 2-0 on the evening. Marley Gray back to serve. Into the back row, but too long and goes out of play. Point Harlan.
She tried to take a little bit off that one and just sailed a little long.
Back to serve will be Mueller, Macy Mueller. For Harlan, low across the net, aggressive serve to Vries, to Joint, hit into the net by Ramirez. Point goes to Harlan. 12-8. And Mueller back to serve again, low and across the net. DeVries, joint, Ramirez taps it across. Mueller with the set to Monson. She taps it across. There's Ramirez to joint. Down ball, Bond. Set and hit hard by Preston. Bond is there. Joint sets Jones. And too far out of play. Point goes to the Cyclones.
Man, I would have called a touch on that, but that's unfortunate. Change of tempo there. Tigers did a good job with lots of defense and lots of transition there, keeping that ball alive.
Serve from Mueller is out. Point Tigers. 13-9 is our score. Back to serve Nicole Bond.
Yep, she's been excellent from the service line here tonight. Let's see if she can pick us up and take us on a run.
Here you go. Bond into the back row to Einesen right at the net. Tapped across by Jones. Mueller sets Preston. Nice hit by Preston. She's a sophomore. Point Harlan.
Seen a lot of Tiger blocking schemes where they're getting their hands on the ball and it's just happening to fall on their side of the court. That's just the way the luck goes sometimes.
Einesen back to serve, low across the net. Ramirez set to Ramirez. She hits it. Einesen, Mueller set to Schwezo. She hits it hard. Joint is there. Bond pushed across by Ramirez to the back corner.
Yeah.
And the point goes to the Tigers.
Great job by Ramirez there. She passed it to herself, then set it, and also hit it all at the same time. So good job.
14-10.
I'm just picking on you a little bit and having a little fun.
Are you messing with me there?
Yeah.
Ramirez, dump set by Mueller. Jones handles it well. Mueller to Monson. She just taps it across. Bond gets under it and down ball across the net by DeVries. Hit hard by Preston. There is Boswell. Down ball again. DeVries into the back corner to Stork. Mueller with the set to Schwezo. Sails long. Point Tigers.
Good job by the Tigers with some consistent play out of transition. Regularly then having to have Kennedy take that third ball and hit it over the net. And ultimately Harlan makes a mistake and hits it long.
15-10 is the score. Red Oak leads set 2. Set 3. Serve, Stork. Free ball, Mueller. Point,
wow.
Cyclones.
That was a great little shovel pass over the net. I haven't seen that in quite a while, but if that wasn't intentional, that was a great little move there by Harlan to change the momentum and get the ball back.
Back to serve is Monson, Ava Monson. 15-11. Bond to Ramirez, set to Boswell. Monson digs it, passes it to the net. Down ball, Preston blocked at the net. Point Tigers. (16-11).
Emily Siebenecker checking into the game here. She'll do some serving duties for the Tigers and play some back row as a defensive specialist.
Into the back row, too long. Nice job by Stork to recognize it and just let it go.
Yeah, that was a great job. That sometimes those serves, it's hard to tell if they're going to float long or drop right in there on the line. We've seen the Tigers do that a couple times tonight here.
Tornaton serves into the back row. Siebenecker set goes to Gray, hit hard. It's going to go out of play. Point Tigers.
Good job by Marley to hit that ball on a tough set from Merced. And just goes off the Harlan defender, sails out of bounds. Point to the Tigers.
17-12 is our score. Red Oak leads. Back to serve is O'Neill. Jocelyn O'Neill low across the net. Tornaton is there. Mueller set to Schwezo. Ramirez with the set to Boswell. She taps it across. Rust. Einesen down ball. Schwezo. Ramirez passes it to the net to O'Neill. Hit by Boswell and Tigers point.
Yeah, good job by the Tigers there. A little out of transition. Merced took the first ball. She's a setter on the court. So then Jocelyn had to take the second ball with the pass up front to Olivia for ultimately the hit and the kill.
18-12 is our score. Red Oak leads set 3, and we'll be back after this.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I don't know. Welcome to Red Oak. You know this song, Derek, from back of your DJ days?
Yeah, I mean, I think I
Jump
listened
around?
to this morning when I got out of bed.
Oh, this is how you get up?
It's kind of,
jump around, a little house of pain.
That's how I get everybody else up.
18-12 is our score. Red Oak leads set 3. Back to serve O'Neill. Serve into the back row. Tornating past it to Mueller. Tapped across by Russ. There's O'Neill to Ramirez. Set to Gray. Hit hard. Yeah, it's in. Point Red Oak.
Good job by the Tigers. Great pass set and the ultimate hit there by Marley for the point and keeping the rally going here for the Tigers.
19-12 is the score. Red Oak leads set 3. Here we go. Back to serve is O'Neill. Mueller with the set to Russ. She taps it across. Yeah. Merced, she taps it and then it just falls on her.
Yeah,
so.
Merced got her hand on it, just not up high enough. But Harlan did a good job of kind of finding that open spot on the floor that's been open all night long for the Tigers.
Into the game, Reichel. Emerson Reichel, a sophomore, and she'll serve. 19-13 is our score. Into the back row to Bond. There's Ramirez. Hit across. Boswell out. Point Cyclones. 19-14. Red Oak leads set 3. Serve Reichel. Bond to Ramirez. Dump set. Nice job by Einstein to keep it alive. Tapped across by Rush to Bond. There's Ramirez with the set to Gray. Mueller sets Einstein. She taps it across right to the open spot. And it's 19-15.
Yeah, Tigers did a good job there with their defensive play and setting the ball up. Harlan just got a little lucky there with that tap across the floor.
And set to Boswell. Tornaton passes it to Mueller. Tapped across again by Einstein. Gray to Ramirez. Boswell hits it across. Reichel hit by Rust. Point goes to the Tigers.
Yeah, Harlan's doing a good job of just playing kind of the finesse game of trying to tap the ball into the open spot on the floor when they've got some Tiger defenders in their face there. So I shouldn't say it's lucky. It's very strategic for them to find that open spot with the tap.
Joint, nice serve, and the Cyclones get it across. Jenkins to Joint, set to Gray. Hit hard to Tornaton back across the net. This time the set to Ramirez. She taps it to the open spot on the court. Finesse play again.
Great court awareness by Merced to know just tap it across to the open spot on the floor.
And it's 21-15 coming into the ball game. Derek is Haley Rydberg. Ramirez takes the seat. And back to serve is Joint. 21-15, Red Oak leaves. Jump serve by Joint. I don't think we've seen that, have we, Derek? Hard by the Cyclones. 21-16.
Yeah, the Tigers none of them really have done much of a jump serve this year. They've just I think they've mostly worked on getting those serve successes across the net.
Back to serve is Stork. Off of the Tigers. Point Cyclones. It's 21-17. Stork back to serve. 21-17. Red Oak leads set 3. Siebenecker chased it down, and Stork in a bit of a run going here from behind the service line. 21-18 is our score. There's Bond to Joint. Set to Gray. She hits it hard. Tornaton Mueller with the set to Einstein. And it falls to the court. Point goes to the Tigers, 22-18. Coming into the ball game is Brinkley Salek for Red Oak. Also coming into the game is Keely Jones. Salek back to serve. 22-18 is our score. Serve from Salek, sails long. And it's 22-19. Back to serve is Mueller for Harlan. Bond to Joint, set to Jenkins, point Tigers.
Good job by Carly there.
I think Carly Jenkins has played a really nice ball game.
She has played really good. She hits the...
O'Neal has played a nice ball game tonight, I think. Back to serve Bond. 23-19, Red Oak leads set 3. Serve low into the net, point Harlan. 23-20.
I think Red Oak wants to keep it interesting here and let Harlan have as much as they want. So
Einesen to serve. Brinkley, Salek, set goes to Jones. There's Schwezo, set to Schwezo. She hits it across. Joint to Bond. She sets Jones. Jones taps it across. Stork passes it up the net. Mueller with a set to Preston. It goes out of play. And it's a touch. Keeping it interesting is right, Derek. 25-21 is our score.
23-21.
I mean, that's
Let's
what I
not
meant
get
to
too
say.
far.
That's what I meant to say. Einesen with the serve. O'Neal. Joint. Set to O'Neal. She taps it across. What's the score now, Derek?
24-21.
Okay, and just making sure. What comes right after 24?
That would be 25. Match point, yes.
It's match point. Back to serve is Rydberg. Einesen to Mueller, set to Schwezo. She hits it into the back row to Bond, and it's going to bounce off of the back wall, and it's 24-22. Got to win by 2. Remember that, too. Into the game, Ramirez. Out of the game, Rydberg. Back to serve is Monson. Center portion of the service line. Salek passes it up front. Ramirez with the set to O'Neal. Monson, Schwezo down ball. And it's 24-23. Red Oak leads 24-23. Back to serve is Monson for Harlan. Into the back row, Salek to Ramirez, set to O'Neal. Einesen to Schwezo. Free ball across the net. Mueller. Up front it goes. Ramirez. Kept alive by Bond. Jousting at the net. There's Jones with the down ball to Einesen up front. Mueller with the set to Schwezo. Bond to Jones. Down ball across the net. Einesen under it. Set to Rust. Kept alive by O'Neal. This time the set to Joint. She hits it across. And it's going to fall to the floor. Whew. What a last point.
Alexis Wallace with the kill to end the game. You don't hear her getting any kind of get the kill at all during the match because mostly she's setting and playing defensive specialist. So I was holding my breath there for about, I don't know,
I thought
5 points.
You look pretty, you're kind of turning blue over there, Derek.
Yeah, well.
Tigers get the victory, 25-23, and they win tonight in 3 straight, 25, 20, 21, and 23. We're going to take a break, let Derek catch his breath, and we'll be back after these messages.
I had so much fun. Merced trusted me, and it meant a lot to me.
So, Alexis, typically you're setting the ball.
I am, yes.
And you got to put the last point over for the victory, right?
I did.
So that's pretty exciting. I thought tonight there were some really nice runs by both teams from behind the service line overall, but the Tigers started off strong, and you guys really just kind of controlled. You've played this team before. Did you know what to expect coming into the game?
Kind of, but we knew that we needed to be a family out there. That's our number one thing, be a family and trust each other out there, so that's what we did.
Having fun?
Yeah, we definitely did.
Everyone's working together?
Yes.
Absolutely. Very good. Nice to visit with you,
Thank
Alexis.
you.
Alexis joined with us. Kennedy DeVries. Kennedy, how's the ankle feeling?
It's feeling okay.
Good. It was nice to see you back out tonight.
Yeah, I knew coming back from an injury that I just had to come back and play with my team and, like Lex said, just be a family, be part of the family.
I saw you chasing balls and getting after it out there. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I am. I'm glad to be back on the court, and I just know that's where I'm meant to be.
Good team chemistry?
Yes, yes.
So what was your plan coming in tonight? You knew what they had. You guys have played, so tell me what your plan coming in tonight was.
Yeah, like Lex said, we just knew it was our errors and our things that we had to work on and play our own game and not worry about them. Just do what we do best, and we were going to be totally fine.
And just let everything happen after that. Play your ball game. Anybody that you would comment otherwise, Kennedy, that you thought played well tonight?
I thought Nicole Bond played a great game tonight.
Yeah.
She was all over the place, getting touches, getting balls, and she's just a great teammate out there.
Absolutely. Alexis?
I think Liv did a great job as well. Everybody did a great job, but Liv, she hit some shots that nobody was expecting, and it was great.
Very good. Nice to visit with you guys. Who's next? Do you know?
We'll go find some people for you.
Who's your next volleyball?
I think we're off tournaments this weekend, and then maybe there's 2 games next week and a tournament the following weekend. So I'm not sure who we have next on the schedule, but
it's whoever it is, right?
Whoever it is, I guess.
Show up. Thank you guys for visiting with me.
Thank you.
Alexis Joint and Kennedy DeVries with us from the Red Oak Tigers. Thanks, guys. And we're going to be joined now. Head coach of the Red Oak Tigers, Angie Montgomery, will join us in just a minute here. She is visiting, I believe, looking over the stats down there, and we're going to have the opportunity to visit with head coach of the Red Oak Tigers. Coach, I think I have the right one turned up for you there, hopefully. Can you hear that okay?
You bet I can.
Coach, so one thing. Nicole Bond started off.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Just ripping it tonight.
I know. She's been putting in a couple extra plates on the squat rack.
I guess.
That's what her team would say.
She was killing it to start off.
Yeah.
And then I thought you had some girls tonight. I mean, everyone played well, I thought.
Yeah.
There was some great play from behind the service line. I thought Marley Gray did great.
She really did, yeah.
I think at the net, I think Jocelyn O'Neill, I think Carly Jenkins did nice tonight.
Yeah, from the middle. Gosh, I just love – I mean, that's a lot of times when we're saying we need more middle offense. And they're just – I mean, they may not get – although they got the ball quite a bit tonight. They're just super efficient.
Yeah.
I mean, Carly she had 6 kills on only 10 attempts. Jossie 8 kills, on 19 attempts. So, I mean, they're just very efficient, and they see the court really well. So,
were you pleased tonight, Coach, with play tonight or not? I mean,
of course I was.
You're a coach. There's always something.
I know. I can always nitpick things, but no, I thought it was great. I thought their energy was great. Just great all-around play. Nicole had some great saves, great digs in the back row. I thought the setters did a great job moving the ball around. I'm a happy camper tonight.
You're pleased overall.
I am, yeah.
I thought tonight there were some big runs behind the service line, really on both sides of the court.
Yep. Yeah, there sure was.
So, got it done in 3.
Yep. Love to see that.
Okay, set number 3. I got a little nervous, Coach.
You know what?
You made it interesting there at the end.
We sure did. I feel like we kind of did in all 3 of the sets. It was like we kind of rolled real fast and then, just kind of slowly inched and let them back in. And but again, no doubt, felt good about that. You love the confidence that you see when kids get off the bench, and just love that play because it's hard. I know I've said it before, but it's really hard to be a sub. When like Haley or Brinkley or Tori or any of our kids off the bench come in, especially at the very, very end when you've been sitting around for.
That's the thing, because you've been sitting there
for an hour and a half or so, or whatever it is, and so that's hard to especially to step back at the service line.
Statistically, Coach, what jumps out at you and what are you seeing there?
Well, I kind of mentioned my middles. Marley led us with 9 kills tonight. Jocelyn was right behind her with 8. Let's see. Carly had 5. Merced and Olivia both had 5. Which, and Liv, we kind of made a move for her to the right side. We're still, I feel like this group of kids is so interchangeable.
Yeah.
And they really buy into their role on the team and what they can give us, what they can provide for us, and just kind of constantly looking to see what the best fit is there as we move towards the middle half of the season. But we kind of made that move with Liv on the right side, which does take her away serving. But, gosh, she's just so comfortable over there as a lefty. And love that. Keely is an outside hitter stepping up as a freshman. That's a tough spot to fill. But, she's doing a good job. She's, she's eager to learn and get on that court. And, of course, I feel like Marley is just really taken into that role of outside. And was glad to see Ken back in the back row a little bit. We're kind of using her sparingly if we can, just as that ankle continues to, we don't want to push her too fast, but she's so excited, just itching to get back on the court.
It was nice to see her back in the rotation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
How's practice been? Has practice been good?
Yes, absolutely. We had a great showing this weekend at our tournament. Unfortunately, I was feeling a little under the weather yesterday, so my right-hand gal, Sharon, down here took care of practice and worked him hard. Yeah, someday I'm going to let her be on the radio because
just bring her
she
on
should.
up.
Sharon.
Look at her. She's just shaking her head.
No, she's the brains behind the operation. I just get up and do the interviews and look pretty.
All right.
So,
well, it's a pleasure to visit with you. Practice has been good. Who's next?
Next, well, we are actually off now until next Tuesday. We are off. We have a weekend off. We don't play Thursday, and I believe we are at Shan. Does that sound right? Tuesday? Creston on Thursday. So what a homecoming week on the road.
Yes.
So let's try to, especially with Shan on Tuesday, that'll be a great match. Shan's playing really well right now, and so that'll be a great match. Hopefully we get a lot of fans down there and make that a good home match for us.
That game's always fun.
It is always fun. Yep, exactly. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Coach Angie Montgomery with us. Coach Montgomery, anything else we need to cover?
I just want to say thank you to your beautiful wife for the bag of goodies, the KCSI swag. Finally, I have some KCSI gear to wear, and I'm really excited about that.
All the cool people wear KCSI
I know,
gear.
and I had none of it. And Reese has a yellow one, and so now I'm going to go show off all of my gear to him, and he'll be jealous. So.
Very good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys so much.